Alright, good evening folks, and welcome back to Wilderness Wargaming. Tonight we're going to take a quick look at the Agents of the Imperium Index for 10th edition. Looking at this one because this is an index that consists of nothing but allies for Imperial factions. No other category really has this. Chaos has some ability to kind of do the same thing. You can add demons to a lot of the Chaos Marine armies. And of course you can take a Chaos Knight, and then with Xenos armies, you're a little bit more limited. Eldari, you have essentially the Harlequins are part of the Craftworld's army now, so you have that. And if it's Inari, of course you can pull from Drakari, but Imperium gets this whole special roster of agents. Let's take a look. First up, you have three basic battle sizes: 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, Incursion, Strike Force, and Onslaught. And you can have one retinue unit and one character unit per size category. So normally you're going to be a 2 and 2 in a 2,000 point game. If you pick any of the assassins, they can't be your warlord, which makes perfect sense. Retinue units are like the squads, the escorts, and then the character units are, of course, characters. Some nice pictures here. He's an Inquisitor. Let's see who we've got. Okay, first of all, we have the Vindicator Assassin. Now we're going to want to look at this guy. And this guy is a classic. He's the sniper assassin that everybody knows and loves. The model is really, really good. A lot better than the original one. I remember the original one because I remember when this thing first came out back in 2nd edition. And it was a giant pain in the butt at first. However, as a Craftworlds player back then, they were called Eldar. I figured out real quick that the best way to deal with this guy was to take Baharath and charge him. Baharath had 36-inch movement with his jump pack. Back then, Swooping Hawks could move 36 inches. That wasn't their actual move category, but they could use their jump packs to go 36 inches, which they could charge that distance. So they could charge all the way across the table and lock this guy up in melee combat. And Baharath was more or less an equal for him. So that usually was a pretty good way of countering him and drove people crazy. Nowadays, this guy has a 7-inch movement, so he's pretty fast for Imperial. Toughness 4, 6-up save, because he's going to use his invulnerable save, which is 4-up most of the time. 4 wounds, leadership 6, objective control 1. But where his real value comes in, his stat line isn't fantastic for a character. Where his real value comes in is his weapons. He's got his Exodus pistol and a rifle, so he can shoot while he's in melee and at close range, and then also at long range. Now the Exodus rifle, of course, counts as heavy, so he gets an additional +1, which helps him counter modifiers. Whereas the pistol, he can shoot on the move or shoot in combat. The pistol has 3 attacks. Ballistic skills 2, strength 5, AP -2, damage 3, so a pretty powerful pistol. The rifle is single attack, ballistic skill 2, strength 7, AP -3, damage D3 +3, so very impressive. And also 48-inch range, so he can cover a 2,000 point game table, no problem. And now he has Vindicator combat knife for close combat as well. At 4 attacks, weapon skill 2, up strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. Not anything super special there. But he is not a melee combatant. That, however, is new. He didn't used to have a special combat knife years and years ago. He only had the pistol and rifle. Of course, way back in 2e, pistols were used as close combat weapons as well as shooting weapons. So when he fought with his pistol. Okay. He's an infiltrator, so he can basically forward lone operative, so he doesn't have to be attached to a unit. And he has stealth, of course, so he can only be shot from within a short range. If he makes a critical hit, he gets +3 to his damage. That includes with the pistol, so that would make the pistol damage 6. And he causes battle shock on units that were hit by it. He doesn't, even if he doesn't actually cause any wounds, he still causes the battle shock. Shield Breaker. Once per battle, and so he can fire Shield Breaker until the end of the phase of time battle. No saving throws of any kind be made with his attack. So I was a little incorrect. I'd forgotten about this the other night, that the whole punch through invulns. This breaks not only invulns but regular armor saves as well. Now it doesn't prevent field updates. It just says no saving throws. And of course, it still has to hit and wound. But this can be real good, especially if you can get a critical hit. If you luck out and get a 6 to hit with this thing, um, then you're doing D3 plus 6, and they cannot save against it. So that is pretty good. That's a definite kill on most characters. It could be really devastating, even to larger monsters like the Incarn, the Avatar, Greater Demons, things like that. Very, very handy. Now I have this guy. I have him all painted up. I didn't actually use him. Like I said, I kind of kept forgetting I had him. So that was the first time I ever bought one. But he's a classic, and I'm definitely going to be getting him in this edition into some games. He also has the smoke keyword. I don't remember what this does exactly. This is some kind of a smoke screen thing, which I'd have to look up. I forgot what it means, because not a whole lot of things have it. Also, he strikes me as the least wacky assassin. The one that kind of can get the job done without being insane, like some of the other ones. No surprises on the back here. And of course, you can only take one. He's an epic hero. It's important to remember that assassins are very rare. These guys are like probably actually like custodian level recruits. They are. I don't know. I mean, each assassin is very different, so I don't know to what degree they're genetically modified or enhanced. But these guys are easily the equivalent of Space Marines. Probably Grey Knights. They're probably about like Grey Knights, like above Space Marines, above regular Space Marines, but below custodians, like maybe equivalent to a Space Marine lieutenant in total overall capability. Okay, next with the Alexis Assassin. Now this guy is a lot of the same stat line, same basic capabilities. He has a 2-up field no pain against Psych. This is the anti-Psyker Assassin. This guy was really hit or miss in most editions because he's great against Psychers and he's very mediocre against everything else. He has an Animus Spiculum, 3 attacks, 2 up, strength 5, AP minus 2, damage D3. So not terrible at shooting, weaker at shooting light to medium infantry. Probably not that great against anything power armored, especially the stuff with higher toughness. You might pick off a Battle Sister or two, maybe even a Marine with a shooting attack. But he can use his precision and his anti-Psyker 2-up and assault, so he can advance and snipe a Psyker really easily. And he has the life-draining touch, which is not a bad melee weapon. 4 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 4, AP minus 2, damage 2, except that it is, again, anti-Psyker 2-up. It also does have devastating wounds and precision, so even against non-Psyker characters, this is not terrible. He's gotten a little bit of a glow-up against non-psychic targets, but Psychers are clearly still his prey with the anti-Psyker 2-up. And, of course, the 2-up field no pain against psychic attacks, so don't waste your psychic powers on this guy. And while an enemy unit is within 6, worsen that leadership character by 1 or 2 instead if the unit is a Psyker. In addition, once per battle, the start of creative phase uses this ability, enemy unit with the 6 will take a battle. So it could force a battle shock. That's just kind of nice to have. This guy, again, he's going to be a little hit or miss. Some armies just straight up don't have Psychers. So tournament play, you have to think long and hard about taking this guy or not. I probably wouldn't. I don't own one, not planning on getting one. But he's interesting, just mainly because the anti-Psyker niche is lore-wise very interesting. This guy, unlike the Vindicator, was not a giant pain way back in 2E. I don't think a whole lot. By the time he came out, as I recall, people were getting a little assassined out. Next up, the Eversword. This is the Psycho Assassin. He just kills everything in sight. Now, this guy knows movement 9. In other words, he's the same with the stat line. He has the Executioner pistol. 4 shots, ballistic skill 2, strength 4, AP 0, damage minus 1. Anti-infantry 3 up, though. So that's makes it a little bit more deadly than you might otherwise think. Melee weapon. Power Sword, Neuro Gauntlet. Again, anti-infantry 3 up. 6 attacks, weapon skill 2. I'm a little surprised it's not twin linked with with 2 weapons. 6 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 5, AP minus 2, damage 2. Although it does have a lot of attacks. Nothing super great there, although the infantry 3 up definitely helps a lot. He also has deadly demise. This guy, yeah, the other ones don't. No, they don't. This guy, traditionally, he is so drugged up and chemically enhanced that he actually explodes when you kill him. And he has a 9-inch scout move to start. So I need friends on your command phase. Select one of the effects below to apply into the next. So he can do one of these 3 things each command phase. Adrenal surge, eligible to shoot and declare a charge in turn, which is advanced. That's fantastic. Since his movement is already 9, so he's a pretty long threat range there. Predatory focus. He gets precision, which of course is great. Very handy. That's the whole point of assassins. Notice that he doesn't natively have precision over here, though, because he's kind of a kill everything assassin. He's not a precision assassin. And killing rampage if the sustained hits 3. That's wow, because you're getting 6 attacks here. So statistically, you're going to get at least 1 trigger of the sustained hits. So that's going to give you 3 extra hits, and you're going to hit 5 of the 6. So 5 plus 3, that's going to give you 8 hits on that. And he can shoot Overwatch and heroically intervene for 0 CP. Okay, this guy, he's a hero hammer type character. He jumps in there and just kills things. He is not specifically an anti-character assassin. He's just there to cause maximum carnage and havoc. He is very dangerous, mainly because his mobility is incredible. He's one of those uses 3d6 and pick the 2 highest to charge, basically, in Night that, or rather max out. I forget how it worked if you rolled 3d6, but either way, he had long charge range, high threat range. He's pretty hero hammer. This guy was a little bit of a pain back in 2e too. Although we quickly figured out the way you dealt with this guy was you just hosed him down from long range. And in later editions like 8th and 9th, I believe the best way to deal with him really was aircraft. Because he couldn't do jack to aircraft. Now he could technically take a shot with an executioner pistol, but he wasn't going to kill something like a Razorwing jet fighter or a Hemlock. It wasn't going to happen. I don't own one. This guy is a little too... It's a little too over the top. It's like, why do you need him if you have the other 3? What's the point of having an assassin that's just... I mean, I guess he could be useful for wiping out like large groups of cultists and stuff like that, but if you have to wipe out large groups, why not just use regular units? Why would you need an assassin? I'm not a huge fan of him. Never have been. But, I mean, he's kind of a cool model and all that. He is interesting. He's definitely very much an example of just how advanced the biosciences are within the Imperium. One thing to keep in mind, if you're newer to 40k, is the Imperium's technology is decaying a lot, but with the biosciences, it's not as much. They seem to be more advanced and more capable in life science and bioscience than they are in any kind of mechanical sciences. And I think that's because Mechanicum seeing flesh and life as inferior to machines, basically, that the Megas Biologus are not looked at nearly as much. They're not nearly as closely examined for tech heresy because it's not technology in the first place. And this guy is a perfect example of where you can take that. And then last, the Alexis Assassin. I have one of her. I do have one of her. I like her a lot. I love her super long ponytail. She looks really cool in her I think it's called a synth suit or something like that. Basically her latex body glove. She's a little kinky. But her braid, of course, is very cool. She's similar in stat line to the first 2. She's a neural shredder, anti-infantry, torrent weapon, basically a neural flamethrower. Strength 5, AP minus 2, damage 1. This is as good as it's a high AP for a torrent weapon. This is a little bit leaning into the group targeting of the Eversor, but very, very handy. Especially with anti-infantry plus 2 and precision on a torrent weapon is kind of crazy. And then our phase sword and poison blades, lethal hit and precision, 5 attacks, weapon skill 2 up strength, 5 AP plus 4 damage. and this is precision AP minus force. This is going to represent a big threat to a lot of characters. Definitely going to force them under their vuln save. And lethal hits means that the low strength is less of an issue. Now, what does she do? Reign of Confusion. After your opponent has destroyed him, you can use this ability. If it does until the end of it, the CP must increase by 1. Now, polymorphine. This is what she really does. Is she can, and this is why she's a female. It's because she's kind of like their Space Marines in reverse. This drug only works on females. At the end of the opponent's turn, if this model is not within engagement range of any unit used, you refer to the battlefield, and the reinforcement fuse your next phase. Set it up anywhere on the battlefield is more than 9 inches horizontal. Basically, it's that remove it set up thing. Now, I used to hate her way back into. I hated this one because what she could do was she could pop in place of one of you. She was disguised as one of the members of your army, so her thing was she could pop into existence in place of one of your existing models and kill it. Now, she couldn't pick any character. She couldn't pick anything that had a heavy weapon. It was basically stuck with regular infantry, but the problem was she was already in squad coherency with the squad, so she basically didn't have to charge. It was just she just got in there and murdered the whole squad almost for free. Plus, she got the free kill of taking the model out, and I always thought that was kind of bullcrap. But she doesn't do that kind of thing anymore, and the model is super, super cool. So I have one of her, and she will, like the Vindicator, definitely be seen at the tabletop. She's probably gone from my most hated to my most favorite of them all, or at least competing with the Vindicator. Alright, moving on. We got the Rogue Trader Entourage here. I don't know that these guys really, I don't know what these guys really do. While this unit is leading a unit, models in that unit. So these guys are actually a leader that you can put in with another unit, that's kind of crazy. And they can they can redeploy units. They give the unit a 5 out feel no pain. Definitely they're handy. Nothing over here is brutally powerful. The Dart Mask is kind of rough. This is the Rogue Trader, which is this guy, and the Specialists. I find it amusing that a unit can be leading a unit. Also, this guy is the biggest pistol ever here. Look at the size of that thing. Oh, 3 Specialists, I'm sorry. Household Pistol, Molecular Cane Rapier. Yeah, because these guys, he's all fancy schmancy. He can also lead Breachers and Voidsmen at Arms from Imperial Navy. And these guys are just, they're basically like Imperial Guard troops. With slightly better armor saves. They have Carapace armor, 4-up save, and some different weapons like a shotgun. Vicious Bite. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. You have a model that makes a range attack that targets the close to eligible. The attack is lethal. Its ability. I'm not sure why they have a Vicious Bite, but they do. Maybe they have a dog of some sort. Oh yeah, they do. They have a dog, Canid. It's got the Vicious Bite, which is he has 3 attacks at strength 4. It's good. He's a good boy. He's a good doggy. Voidmaster, 48 Voidsman, up to 1 Canid. Has a shotgun, las pistol, close combat weapon. They come with this rotor cannon. That thing's heavy sustained hits, attack 6, ballistic skill 5. So it's not going to hit all that roll with strength 6. They're basically just naval infantry, kind of like, I don't want to say Marines because Space Marines are the Marines, but like they're naval infantry. Navy Breachers, these guys do boarding actions for the Navy. They're more naval infantry. Auto pistols, bolt pistols, demo charges, melta-guns, Navis heavy shotguns, Navis las volley, regular Navis shotgun. They get a wide variety of weapons. They're used in Kill Team. That's partly why they have so many. And then they have chain fists because they breach through the hulls of starships. So they use that, breach through there. Chain sword, close combat weapons, power weapons. They reroll wounds of 1, and they can reroll wounds on objectives. There's a Durt Shield. Not sure exactly who could take that. Smoke keyword. Not sure if these guys are all that great. They definitely have some interesting this thing, the demolition charge, that could potentially be pretty brutal on a field. D6 plus 3 attacks at damage 2, AP minus 2 to strength 12. And they have a Sergeant 9 Armsman. Shotgun or auto pistol and chainsword or bolt pistol and power weapon. I think this is probably the winner here, bolt pistol. And they can have a belt gun or a plasma gun with them. They can also have another guy with an auto pistol and power weapon, one guy with a chain fist, and one guy can have it'd be the explosives guy basically. Cool models. I don't see any real use for them. I don't honestly. I don't plan on getting any of the Rogue Trader associated units. Subductor Squad. Okay, these guys are Adeptus Arbite. Now these guys are way cool, very cool looking models. They have the traditional shotguns and the shock mauls, mechanical bites. So they have some kind of dog with them. Oh, hey, there he is. Look at this. Oh, look at that guy. I didn't look closely at this before. Look at the little dog or big dog. Man, he's a big boy. Look at the size of that dog. He ain't no little doggy. Yeah, it's a good boy. Yeah, he's a cyber dog. Cyber Mastiff. Kind of like in Necromunda. They have a fight on death. 50% effective. And they force opponents to take a penalty on battle shock. These guys are so cool compared to their old models. I might actually get a squad of these guys. They're very, very cool. I like that. They're 3-up save. Awesome looking models. Just really nice. I'm definitely into them. Proctor Subductor, that's the sergeant basically. And they can carry the Cyber Mastiff, Arbite Shock Pistol, Shock Maul, Mechanical Bite. Oh yeah, they all have pistols, not shotguns. I misread that. Okay. It's basically they're riot cops. Also, they're now save 3-up. They used to be 4-up save. So basically, they're like battle sisters. And they have these shields, but the shields don't actually do it. Oh, they have an invuln save of 4. That must be what the shield does. Except for the Cyber Mastiff, he doesn't. Poor guy. Poor doggy. Okay, Exaction Squad. These are more Arbites. Similar stats. These guys are more ranged. They have combat shotguns, grenade launchers, shot pistols, executioner shotguns, a heavy stubber, basically a heavy machine gun, rapid fire. It's a little longer ranged, and a Weber. This thing used to do all kind of weird stuff back in the day. I didn't realize Webers were even still around. Basically, it would put webs on stuff. Nobody ever used them. I don't think I ever fought against a Weber. I just remember seeing it in the rulebook and be like, oh my god, that thing sounds complicated. Notice it's only strength 2, but it has devastating wounds. So that must be its thing. Close combat weapon, Excruciator Maul, and of course mechanical bite because they have a doggy too. Doggy dog. And they, there, I guess they're seeking their quarry, so you can get +1 to hit against the quarry. Good, that boosts to ballistic skill of 3. Or weapon skill of 3 or 2 for the maul. Medkit, they have a 5-up feel no pain. The Aquilus, just like the previous one, to force penalty on battle shocks, and they can take a Soul Guild scanner to ignore cover. Okay. I don't approve of ignore cover, but I like these. These guys also very cool models. I love the shackles there. That's awesome. Really cool stuff. They can take out 1 executioner shotgun, grenade launcher, heavy stubber, or Weber, 1 of each. Or no, up to 2 of those for every 5 models. If you had a 10-member squad, you could have all 4. You can give 1 guy an Excruciator Maul. 1 guy can carry a medical kit, and 1 guy can have the scanner. Okay, and of course they have the doggy dog, the big Cyber Mastiff. That guy, let's take a little look at him. That's cool. I love the Cyber Mastiff. He's amazing. Look, he's a very proud. He's a good boy. Yeah, you should give him scritches. Okay. All right. Vigilant Squad. Okay, more ranged Arbites here. These guys have range attacks, targets below half strength. Add one to the wound roll. A little less. I'm not going to go over everything because it's kind of the same thing. And the Nuncio. So again, very cool models. I like them a lot. These guys are definitely worth it from a cool model standpoint. Lord Inquisitor Kyriadrax. I have this lady, and she has not seen the table yet, even though I've had her for 3 years now. Unfortunately, I really need to get her out there. I just wasn't quite sure. Never quite got an opportunity to where I felt confident taking her. She was not that great. I mean, she was a psyker, but she wasn't that great at it in the previous edition. This one, though, it's Psychic Tempest. 18-inch range, 6 attacks, will 6 skill 3, strength 6, damage 2. So that's not bad at all. Plus, she has her Shuriken Catapult because she is an Ordo Xenos Radical. 4 attacks, will 6 skill 4, strength 4, AP 0, damage 2. And she has a Power Fist for her melee weapon. 3 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 6, AP minus 2, damage 2. So, she's got 6-inch movement, toughness 3, save 3 up, wounds 4, leadership 6, control 1. She gets +1 to hit against Xenos factions, or basically anything that isn't Imperium or Chaos, and she can veil her unit against being seen more than 18 inches away. Now that's a little bit longer. Traditionally, people, or at least the way the evaluations have always gone to this abilities, is they're great. They're pretty good if it's 12 inches, but at 18 inches they're kind of not worth it. And this risk of a 1 causing mortal wounds to her unit, don't know about that. She only has a 5-up invuln. She's still cool. I am going to try to get her in. She does need a retinue, though. I don't have a retinue unit to assign her to. Although I could put her in a sister squad or a Space Marine Intercessor, or Assault Intercessor, or even Heavy Intercessor squad. Technically, she could also accompany, I guess, Sisters of Silence, or she could accompany Custodian Guard as well. So I might try her out at some point. I might put her in a Custodes army. So I might just need her to fill in a points gap. Inquisitor Kotaz, I like this guy. Don't have his model because he's got this awesome bird on his arm. But he's not all that. He has slightly better armor than Kyriadraxis. His nemesis, Demon Hammer, Psychic. Strength 9, AP minus 3, damage 3. That's a good hammer. He gives 5-up, feel no pain against psychic attacks, and he can give you back CP. So this guy's probably more useful. If I could lay my hands on a copy of him, probably would take him sometimes. Inquisitor Greyfax, I do have her. She's the bitchy one with the awesome hat and the awesome crossbow bolter. Castigation. She's an anti-character, devastating one. She's kind of a short-range sniper. Skill 3 up, strength 8, AP minus 2, damage 3 with the regular shot, and the Condemner Stake. This is anti-psyker 2 up, devastating wounds, precision. Skill 3, strength 4, AP 0. This is great for sniping psychers. And she has a mastercrafted power sword, which is about what you expect. Other than that, she's similar stats to Kyriadraxis, similar invuln. She hands out anti-psyker 4 up to the unit she's leading. This I would definitely put with Battle Sisters because of the large numbers of shots. If you wanted to take out psychers, that could be really handy. Enemy unit, including monster vehicles with engagement reads. So I could fall back, let's take a test for escape tests as if they were battle shocked. And, okay, so she makes it harder for them to get away. Yeah, she's definitely going to be getting in. She's definitely very cool. I love her hat. Her hat is amazing. She is the lady of the amazing hat. Inquisitor Karamazov. This guy, for some reason, rides around on this throne. Mastercrafted multi-melt to melt a 3. It's a triple barrel. Looks like the melted destroyer from the Stormspeeder Hammer Strike. This guy's a dork. He's a dork riding around on his throne, inquisiting from on high. Not gonna go over him too much. I have no plans to get him. He does more battle shock stuff. The Mastercrafted multi-belt is pretty good. Strength 10 with belt of 3 and 3 shots. It's triple barreled, see? But I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, he's just no guy. This guy is one of those. He's the stereotypical Inquisitor, which is why he's running around on this stupid throne. And then we have the generic Inquisitor, who also has an awesome hat, and for some reason a flintlock pistol, which is a bolt pistol. It's totally a bolt pistol. He hands out a feel no pain to units he's leading. He does have a force weapon, psychic, so he can make psychic attacks. And he can deal out a psychic shockwave. Not bad. Wouldn't mind having him, except I already have Greyfax, and she already has the awesome hat. Eisenhorn. This guy is cool. This guy is the subject of very popular novels. I don't know too much about him. This guy, I guess, plays fast and loose with the rules a lot. Oh, excuse me. Okay, he can basically make something not eligible to shoot or give him a penalty to hit, although he risks taking mortal wounds himself when he does it. Yeah, because he plays fast and loose with everything. But he's nothing up here that's really all that much to write home about. Leads the same Inquisitorial henchman. You got a variety of various wackos that follow the Inquisitors around. They have some fairly standard weapon. Plasma cannon, plasma pistol, unholy gaze. Psychic exchange hits 3/3. That one's probably the most interesting. They got an Eviscerator like Sisters of, like Repentia do. Warp Grasp, Psychic. Let's see what else we got. 4 to 10 Inquisitorial Acolytes, 2 to 2 Gun Servers, 0 to 2 Miss. So you can have quite a lot of. You can switch out. This is the Gun Servitor. You can switch out his gun, his big gun, for a multi-melta or plasma. Normally he gets a heavy bolter. You got a wide variety here of how you can mix this up. Now, right now, of course, its fixed unit size is probably either 4 or 10, 0 or 2, 0 or 2, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. But in theory, you can have a real mix and match there with this unit. And your Inquisitors can be accompanied by them. That is pretty much everything for the Inquisitorial Agents. I wouldn't lie. I would like to have some Arbites, particularly. Well, any of them. Mainly just to have the Cyber Mastiff, because that doggy is great. I love this guy. Other than that, I do have 2 of the Inquisitors, and I have 2 of the Assassins right now. And they're going to be seeing some play. The Assassins especially, I think, have real potential. And I want to see how they do in this edition. Inquisitors, I feel like... I'm not sure about Kyriadrax, if she's going to be good or not, but she looks like she's going to be better than she was in 9th edition, at least. And Greyfax, I really didn't... I don't know how she performed. So I guess we're going to get them on the table and see what we get. I do recommend the Assassins, though. I think if you're playing an Imperial army, you probably need to try out some of the Assassins and see if they help you out. In particular, the Vindicator and the Calidus. The Eversor or the Alexis, I think you Maybe if the first two work well for you, you can try those out. See if you like them. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and please remember to like, subscribe, and ring the notifications bell for more great content for Wilderness Wargaming. And we'll see you back here again very soon. Bye.